What up? It's me, Clark, and today I'm going to be talking a bit about what I do in times of crisis. So I'm not talking about if you have debilitating depression and you can't get out of bed. That's not what I mean by being in crisis. What I'm talking about is if you've got seasonal depression, you're in a rut, or maybe something as small as being around family too much during the holidays has you a little bit dysregulated and you're trying to jump into 2025 with a clean slate and with your priorities in order. So, the first thing that I suggest, I've got 5 things. First one is journaling. So, I started journaling halfway through high school. I knew I needed to shape up. My grades weren't very good and I wasn't very organized. The reason that journaling helped is because it's an external way to store memory. And a lot of times I've got all these things going through my head. So, specifically for anxiety, thinking a lot about the future, overthinking about the future, writing it down. These are the goals. Even writing down, these are the things that I'm anxious about in the future. That's the same premise as why it's therapeutic to talk to friends, talk to family, talk to a therapist about those things. You're getting it out. You don't have to keep it in your mind and stew over as much. And I heard some wise words. Someone said that thinking can be circular while writing is linear. A lot of times thoughts loop. You'll think the same thing over and over again. But writing it down, it becomes more, it's linear. You write it down once. So oftentimes writing something down, writing where I'm at, writing about my dreams, writing about how I'm feeling, even just starting with no intention and no understanding of how I feel or where I'm trying to go or what's on my mind, it begins to reveal itself. It's the same premise of talk therapy. In time, it'll reveal itself. So that goes into the second one, which is, if possible, getting therapy of some sort. Now, getting therapy can help because it's an objective person who's going to give you positive reflective feedback. So what that means is they're going to reflect back to you what it is you said and hopefully ask you the right questions to get you to reveal what it is, what your true desire or belief is. Because they're not going to tell you what to do. A lot of times, friends or family will tell you what to do. Or I even hear that they can gaslight you or give you some negative advice or make you feel worse than how you did feel. So that's why therapy is the second one. Talking to friends or mentors who've been through the situations that you're going through. That's the third one. We've got the journaling, that's personal. We've got therapy, that's more objective, but it's interactional. And now we've got the most interactive and least objective. That's talking to friends or someone who's like a mentor figure who's gone through this thing before. So a lot of times I will call up a friend, call up someone who I consider a mentor, talk to them about it, and oftentimes the message that I hear is that it'll get better, this too shall pass. That's basically the premise, but it's very reassuring to hear that from someone who's been through it and has gone through some things in their life as well. Um, I guess that's all I have to say about that one. The next one, number 4, is creating routine. So for me, I've realized that I get a dopamine rush or serotonin boost, whatever it may be, when I achieve a task that I set my mind to. But like I said with the journaling thing, if I'm not writing things down, it's all swirling around in my head. And yeah, maybe I get some of the things done, but I'm just all over the place in doing so and not very intentional. So, writing down a routine of the things that I'm trying to do every week or every day, simple things, can help just make my brain feel better. And I also build some self confidence because I'm following through with the things it is that I want to be doing. And those things that I write down for myself, most of the time, delay gratification. That's the first thing. They delay gratification. They are long term beneficial for the most part. I mean, if you're writing down routines and goals like, I need to eat junk food today, I mean, that seems rare because most of the time you just go and do that. That seems like more of a short term pleasure, like instant reward gratification. So, creating a routine, in my mind, the structure of it's important. I have not met a ton of human beings who thrive off of no structure. Most people that I talk to, including myself, appreciate having some type of routine within the day. People say we're creatures of habit, so try and build those good habits and cross them off the list. For me, when I cross the thing off the list or I check it off the list, I feel good about myself. I feel good, like I achieved the thing I set out to do. So, the next one, the fifth one, this is probably the most controversial one, is the I Ching. So, they'll say roll the I Ching or throw the I Ching. So, this is a old Chinese text with 64 hexagrams. So each of the hexagrams has spiritual principles mixed with life lessons, with the premise being that you will unconsciously attract the message that you need to hear, and within every hexagram, all 64, it will suggest to you how to align yourself best with the sage. They call it the sage in the book, but the sage could be replaced with your higher power, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. But essentially being in alignment with all that is. Now, I don't understand exactly why the I Ching works. One explanation in my mind is it's giving me every hexagram has some type of good advice, so it's giving me something to orient me. I'll write it down and I'll be thinking about it. It's practical advice, and that oftentimes can help me be more mindful within the day because it's almost like I'm repeating this mantra to myself. And the idea is you will unconsciously attract the one that you need to hear in that moment. So, with that, the last thing I'll say is if you're really going through something, this might not be the most helpful video for you. This isn't for that. This is for you just, it's a little bump in the road and you feel a little destabilized. So I'm going to make another video that talks a bit more about the I Ching, but with that, thank you so much for watching. Do all the things to boost the channel if you can, and that's all I've got for you. Thanks for watching.